Hey guys, welcome back. Alright. I gotta shake off what just happened. That deck was like, you know, if I had to like put a number on the last deck that I just played, I would say it was like a 4-3 to upwards of 7-3 type of deck. I was not expecting, not in a million years, for it to go 0-3. And like, if I think back on some of my plays, there were like maybe 2 that I second guessed that I thought that I could have played different. Nobody plays perfectly, especially in hindsight. And you know what the worst part was, is that like how often Ooze could have helped me. If you think back on all of those games, except for the one versus the Mage, but the 2 beatdowns, you know, like I saw a total of like 5 solid weapons in that. No, 4 solid weapons. 5 if you include the poison that was added to the assassin's weapon in the first one. Do I play Mage again, or do I play Druid or Priest? Yeah, ugh, I don't like really either of these, and I've had horrible times with the Druid lately, and I just hate playing as the Priest. I'm gonna do Mage again. Alright, so we're looking at Sun Fury Protector, which is meh. Not to be confused with the shield dude, the, what's his name? The Argent Protector? Is it Argent Protector? Ancient Mage can be really cool. He can be really good, depending on what you've drafted, but Defender of Argus. Okay, yeah. It's hard to pick him this early on based on, like, he's just a, you know, same size body. No, not even as good a body as the Violet Teacher, right? As an early pick, I stand by, like, I think because the Kirin Tor Mage is a good 3-drop regardless of your strategy, I'm going for it over these 2. And I really want some friggin' nice secrets. I once went, I think 9 wins with a really nice mage deck that had like 4 secrets in it and 1 Tor Mage, but I just seemed to get lucky that the mage was always in my hand when I had a secret in my hand. It was so nice. I think I'm looking at Sunwalker here. Good value, built in. Pint-sized Summoner is only really valuable if you're looking at a lot of, you know, stuff in the higher up curve. I'm gonna go with Sunwalker. Early pick, built-in value. And this is a no-brainer for me. I hate Ice Barrier. I don't think I've ever played with Ice Barrier. Bluegill Warrior, maybe I'm undervaluing it. Maybe someday I should play with it, but I've never seen a pick where I want it over something else. I like Bluegill Warrior as a nice, like, jump out there, do 2 damage, but I'm not wanting for damage in a mage deck, direct damage. The Worgen Infiltrator is, I love how he can just kick around. He's like a Bluegill Warrior that's cheaper, who sticks around till you need him. Alright, Dread Corsair is no good unless you're running weapons, which I won't be. Archmage, spell damage +1, but that's like, you know, not the thing that's going to come in handy. What's going to come in handy is the fact that he's a 4/7, which is decent. Not amazing, but decent. The Brewmaster fits nicely into the curve, though, and often his his bounce effect, I can't think of many instances where it was a downside. I'm going to go with him because he'll more easily fit into the curve. I'll probably have a harder time finding really good 4-drops than I will 6-drops, especially this early on. I don't want to have to pass, you know, a Boulder Fist Ogre because I've got too many 6-drops and he's one of them. Stranglehorn Tiger is a beautiful 5-drop, and it's not even a contest between Southsea Deckhand, considering I won't be running weapons, and Priestess of Yulun, who like is a 5/4 on turn 6, whose battle cry is like, who gives a shit? So, Stranglehorn Tiger. Let's see here. Sorcerer's Apprentice is... Ironforged Rifleman's good for pinging guys, but he's more valuable... Well, it's weird. It's kind of funny. You'd think that he's more valuable outside of a mage deck because other characters, other creatures, other heroes need direct damage more than the mage. However, it almost makes him more valuable when he's played with mage because that 1 damage can become 2 on turn 5, which is nice as well. It makes the hero ability maybe even more powerful. I think the safe pick here, though, is Arcane Intellect. Curve-wise, it would feel so nice just to fill that little divot right there, though. And it's a 3-2 on turn 2, which is, standard. But I love that Arcane Intellect is such a lifesaver late game, and it can be used early game if you have nothing else to cast. So I like its versatility because of that. It's a tough decision between... I'm going to ignore the Wisp. Tough decision here between the Water Elemental and the Cone of Cold. One's a 3/6 body for the same cost as the Cone of Cold. The Cone of Cold is instantaneous freezing and can really save your butt and gets 3 guys at once instead of 1. I think value-wise, the Water Elemental is actually a little bit more valuable than the Cone of Cold unless you have a deck built around this sort of strategy, delaying the game. And a lot of mage decks do that, but in Arena, remember, we're playing Arena, you can't rely on how this deck is going to play out. He's the safer pick, especially on turn 6, or on pick 6. Alright, so we got Bloodfen Raptor, the vanilla form of all 3/2s on turn 2. The 2/3 Crocolisk. What do you guys like out of these two? It's interesting, because on one hand, Bloodfen Raptor is the only one that can guarantee to hit a 2/3. But 2/3s, but they die to just about every piece of removal. Whereas Crocolisk, 2/3s can be really annoying. If you have, say, Holy Smite, or you have Arcane Shot, it's annoying looking at a Crocolisk and you're like, my little piece of removal I have here can't take him out. And yet that little Crocolisk can take out the Bloodfen Raptor. However, Bloodfen Raptor can take out what kind of stuff on... He's more likely to be able to take out stuff on turn 3. I also like Oasis Snapshot, but I don't like that he's in the top echelon there. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, Raven-Minded. Like the fact that you are playing Mage, if you're running the Croc and you play Mage, you're going to get that extra ping for 3 damage anyways. However, if you're playing Mage and you run the Raptor, you're trading up to 4 damage instead, right? I switched to Croc. I think you guys are as divided as I am. I think the Raptor looks cooler. I've never put this much thought into it. I'm trying to think of what I would pick automatically if I was playing on my own and not overthinking it. I'd probably go with the Raptor. I'm going to go with the Raptor. Fireball is the easiest choice here. I'd love to have another Mana Worm, or have a Mana Worm in this deck, but not over the Fireball. You can't. Abomination. Nice delay of game, but you can't pick that over card draw and spell damage built in, which spell damage sometimes really comes in handy with him. Not gonna go with this. Ooh, this could be a nice counter to Priests that I might face in Arena. You barely ever see Priests in Arena, because they suck in Arena. I don't know how they play in Constructed, but they suck in Arena. I have not played with a Duplicate yet. I have a Tor Mage already. I've already got an Arcane Intellect. I feel like I might go for Duplicate because of my Tor Mage that's sitting there already. And I haven't played with a Duplicate, and I'm kind of interested. Let's do that. And if you think about it, Duplicate kind of is... It's kind of like card draw, right? In a way. because you're getting an extra card. You're getting 2 cards for 1. It's the same as Arcane Intellect in a way. It's just that you're not getting. You're getting. You know what you're getting. In fact, you might consider it to be better, in some ways. Out of these picks, Sunshattered Cleric is better if I knew what I would be getting in my early game, but I don't at this point. I like Stormwind Knight. He's versatile. He's got charge. He's got 5 toughness. But Sunshattered Cleric lets you trade up. Really depends on what I end up getting down here in the 1 and 2 drop area, but I'm gonna hope for some good stuff down there. It's true, the Brewmaster could bounce the Cleric. In this case, I think it's a pretty easy choice for the Fen Creeper here. Big body, good value on turn 5. Buys you some time when you need it. Well, Wind Fury Harpy, I know that you're the ugly duckling of most arena picks, but not as ugly as these two in this particular deck. And I mean, hell, you're not ugly at all. We should all be so lucky. Wait, she's not a succubus, she's a harpy, never mind. Oh, the Mirror Entity. The Kirin Tormage makes me want to choose the Mirror Entity even over a Fireball, but there's no way I could ever bring myself to do that. You fucking pick the Fireball. I don't think there's another basic card or even common card that I would pick over Fireball, except for maybe Polymorph. And even then, it's kind of hard to decide between those two. It's all because the Fireball can also do face damage. It's that versatility, you know? Looking here, not a strong pack. Arcane Explosion, I don't value highly, especially since I haven't drafted any Mana Worms. I think I'm gonna want the Wolf Rider in this pack. Yeah, Wolf Rider. Frost Nova in the right deck can be really valuable, but not in this particular one, as far as it's looking so far. I'm gonna go for, oh, I don't underestimate the Frost Nova. It can really save your butt. But I don't have any Frost Bolts yet, and besides Fireballs, I'm lacking in direct damage. I don't want to waste my Fireballs on little guys, and I'd rather have some answers for them. I would love a Flame Strike and a Polymorph in this deck, but I can't pass the Polymorph. Perfect removal, gets rid of so many annoying things. Even this guy. Frostwolf Warlord doesn't fit, well, kind of fits into the curve. The Fairy Dragon, I feel, might be the better pick here, curve-wise, especially combined with the Shattersun Cleric. And the fact that I don't have many early game 2-drops, and we're approaching the 20th pick. It's very possible I'm not going to even get many valuable early game creatures to make the Frostwolf Warlord even worth it. I think I'm going to go for the Fairy Dragon as a safer bet over the Frostwolf Warlord, curve-wise. And now I'm extra happy about that because of the a second Shattersun Cleric, in addition to a Fairy Dragon. That can make the Fairy Dragon a 4/3 that can't be targeted on turn 3. Like, that's really nice to have. Arcane Missiles is also nice to have, but not as good as the current strategy that we're looking at now. Would love to have another Fairy Dragon now. Oh man. Hungry Crab can get rid of my opponent's Murlocs if he decides to play one. We got this vanilla, basically a vanilla 3/3. Or the Molten Giant, which often can save your butt late game. I'm going for the Molten Giant. It seems like a no-brainer here. Another Polymorph! Sorry, Goldshire Footman and Wisp. I love packs like this, the no-brainer packs. Next up, we got Magma Rager, possibly one of the worst cards in all of Hearthstone. Magma Rager. A 5/1 for 3 that doesn't even have charge. that dies to just about everything. Everything it dies to. It dies to everything. Even sneezes. If you sneeze on the other side of the screen, your opponent's Magma Rager will be destroyed. It's proven. It was actually fixed in a bug fix, though. All right, I'm gonna go with Spellbreaker on this one. Great value, fits into the curve nice. I think I'm peaking at 4 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards in the 4-drop slot. So that's about as high as I want 4. I could see getting 1 more 4-drop, but this is like the peak of my curve now, what I'm looking at here. Just so you know, I think that the greatest value that I'm seeing in this deck here is Silverhand Knight. Even though the Acolyte of Pain combos well with the Mage, I wouldn't like putting in another 3-drop there. It makes my curve look ugly. I don't want another 3-drop. I could stand to get another 4-drop, but I don't feel like I want another 3-drop curve-wise, unless it's amazing. I'm going with the Silverhand Knight. Frost Elemental looks nice in the curve and buys you some time late game. Just trying to decide whether I couldn't, as much as I like this little guy and I'm a proponent of his value, and I think that people everywhere are going to start realizing how valuable he is, I don't think he's as good as the Frost Elemental. Yeah. Based on my curve especially right now. Okay, so Ogre Magi might end up having to be that final 4th drop pick that I was talking about. Just because, you know, there's nothing else in the pack that's worth picking. Hope I don't see any like more really valuable 4-drops, because that'll really start to peak way too high. Spiteful Smith is okay for a 4/6 on turn 5, but I'm not going to be running weapons. Meanwhile, I don't have a Flame Strike yet, and I think I'd love to have one, so I'm going to go for that. Chillwind Yeti, so this is what I was talking about. Another valuable 4-drop comes along. Even though I've got 8 cards in here, I hardly ever go above 8 into the peak in my mana curve. Going above 8 is really hard to convince me of. Chillwind Yeti might just convince me to do that, especially in this pack. Chillwind Yeti, you get my final. Bomber is especially since I'm lacking 2-drops, but it's so hard to pass the Yeti. It's just so fucking hard. I gotta pick him. I hope I get, like, my next 3 packs are 2-drops, because that's where I'm missing. I need 2-drops, right? You guys really think I should pick the Bomber over the Yeti, even though... How much stuff do I have that the Bomber could really hurt me for? I think it's pretty clear. You guys want the Bomber over the Yeti. All right. God, that hurts. Ah, I love the Yeti. That hurts so much. For this one, I'm going to take another mirror. No, I'm not going to take the mirror entity. I'm going to take the Tiger. Fits really nice into the curve. So does the Fen Creeper, but I want more damage dealing late game. There's another 2-drop. Oh, what a pack. The Nerubian Egg is actually really decent. It's anti-Flame Strike. I think the Belcher is better than the Kodo. In my opinion. I don't have much taunt at all. I have a Fen Creeper, and he'll be my second piece of taunt on turn 5. That's a nice looking curve. Kind of wishing I still had that Yeti, to be honest. I wouldn't mind that being 1 creature less and having the Yeti, but oh, that was a tough decision. Really tough decision. All right, be right back after this. Stay tuned.